Hello. Just set up your open mic.
Radiant's ban. Dire's ban. Radiant's ban.
Hello.
Is it okay?
I won't know until we get into the game. But on that note, actually, is the stream up?
I'm just starting.
5 seconds.
Okie doke. Well, I'll say hello to everyone who is tuning in inside the game. We're going the second game of OMG going up against 0RESPECT, with the first game going fairly heavily in 0RESPECT's favour. OMG did make a really nice comeback at the Roshan, it just wasn't enough to try and handle the late game potential of the Lifestealer. Joining me today is my resident French translator.
10 seconds to go.
Brilliant time for Dota to have fun, so to speak. But they are going to ban out the Visage very, very early, so this is what they're trying to go ahead with this. They don't want Creo on that Visage. The Familiars really were devastating in the last game with the quick.
And I'm back.
Radiant's pick.
And the Dazzle instantly picked up once again, but on the flip side, it is now 0RESPECT with the Ancient Apparition and OMG with the Dazzle. And 0RESPECT not choosing to go for that Centaur, still open. OMG still have the potential for the D-Tax that Centaur, but no, they can go straight for the Lifestealer.
Radiant's ban.
The Storm Spirit, the Spirit's being banned out currently.
I don't know if my microphone is working in game.
If it's not working in game, what we'll do is we'll just check it once we actually get into the game.
Oh, I don't see the bubble when I'm speaking.
You don't see it on the pick and draft.
Okay.
5 seconds.
But we did get the Spirits banned out, got the Ember Spirit and the Storm Spirit, followed up with the Viper,
Radiant's
and
ban.
that is the Viper is a really good ban for OMG against the Lifestealer. Using that Viper Strike once you've got the Aghanim Scepter will just be able to slow him down constantly and just debilitate his movement. Because he doesn't have the best base movement speed, and it's fairly easy to kite, so that's why you saw in the last game Drow taking up the Phase Boost Drum SMY build just to try and max out the available movement speed for him. Any interesting facts you know about these teams that I
Radiant's
don't?
pick. Dire's pick.
It looks like the picks of the last game.
Yeah, definitely getting towards that, especially with the Batrider probably be played up by Magic once again. Potential is there for either the Nyx Assassin. There's really high flexibility with these lanes right now. Nyx Assassin can be played both support, mid, and on the off lane. Batrider could just go for a really greedy support, going into that jungle, sucking up those camps and going in that way. But we are just going to see straight with the Sand King as the reply, and it's very, very strong up against like the Ancient Apparition. You're able to Burrow Strike out of the Ice Blaster that's coming in. Nyx Assassin is quite difficult to play up against, obviously with the Spiked Carapace. You just walk into the Sandstorm, cast it, then Sand King gets stunned. But until Batrider gets his 4 stars, the Sand King will be able to Burrow Strike if he just does the blink in with the lasso.
Oh, Tinker. That's new.
I'm not looking forward to this game already. Tinker is not a fun hero to cast. I've seen games which should have been over at 23 minutes end about 40 minutes later just because you cannot push into a Tinker. It's one of the biggest problems with Tinker, and one of the reasons you don't see it in the professional scene as much anymore, is the amount of farm experience he actually needs. He actually takes up the farm of every lane, and it's really difficult to play another core with that. So they need to pick something potentially like a Luna who could become very strong with simply a BKB Yasha, and just use that eclipse to good effect.
Did you see the Darkseer?
Yeah, Darkseer. I'm interested to see how they're going to go with this, but I have not been rating Darkseer as of recently. He really needs a lot of high levels to be able to come online. Really needs to have that level 12. Isn't as potent without it, and it does begs the question, really, how are they going to be able to deal with? How are they going to be able to push up into this base?
10 seconds to
Yeah,
go.
maybe use the blink epi with the sanking into the vacuum, but Tinker's just going to march it, clear the creep wave, then move away and teleport to another lane.
Reserve time. Radiant's pick.
Yeah, a lot more off-laners like the next assassin, like the Batrider, Timbersaw, Clockwork, are a lot more effective at the moment than I think the Darkseer, because they can actually still get experience on the off-lane rather than just trying to sack it and heading into the jungle.
The game will be less attractive for you. There are Mirana and Invoker bans.
10
Yeah,
seconds to
I'm
go.
not enjoying the Mirana ban. But Invoker ban is something you really just come to expect in the current scene. Like, the crossworks can mess up too many sort of team fights. The EMP draining 500 mana, that would completely wipe out the mana of Sanking, Life Sealer, and at least half of the mana of the Darkseer and Dazzle. And a Morphling last bit. This is what actually don't. Now I like this game. Morphling, I want to see an E-Blade first, and if they go an E-Blade with the Morphling, they're not going to run a Max March Tinker. They're going to BOT's Blink, Dagger, and E-Blade, and just the sheer force of the E-Blades is just going to melt down the heroes of OMG.
Oh, there's a
10
Morphling.
seconds to go.
Yeah, the game is going to get a lot faster now.
5 seconds. Reserve time.
For OMG to pick up right now, they need to get a mid who really can sort of control the tempo of the game and start moving out quickly.
Storm.
Banned. Clockwork.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, he had Clockwork before, and he absolutely amazing blind hook shots. I think he ended the game, I think, at like 17 for 17-2. Incredible game by Arbonlol, and I am now definitely looking forward to this game. Screw Tinker, Arbonlol, Clockwork. Here we go. So you're saying is actually fun?
Better get ready.
So with that, I'm just going to quickly introduce the lineup of OMGs. We've got Menendez Squedge up onto Dazzle. We've got straight into a smoke. YouTube's actually going to be left behind on this, and I think they're going to try and see if they can secure some early experience for the Darkseer. Leave the Centaur solo off lane up against the not the Centaur, the Lifestealer solo off lane up against the Batrider. And I think they're going to try and cement the experience for D-Tax. With the Poison Touch, they're able to get close in to use that Iron Shell. And use that Burrow Strike. Actually, Hugo needs to be careful right now, they might be able to get him. Actually, CreoJ is going to be hit down. The Poison Touch will be enough. and he is going to go down straight away, especially with the battery assault, and that is the first blind up for Menedef squared.
First time for everything.
And that is not how you want the lane to go, and this is a fine lane for DTax to try and even solo now, and I think they're just going to leave him on there. That's going to be some instant boots coming up for the Dazzle, and just move road like a Dazzle with boots is not something you want to deal with, because his fairly decent attack animation, but the poison touch will slow you, and he will just keep up with you and never stop.
I just wanted to tell I just cut off the stream because I didn't have the 2 minutes of delay, and so I can stream without it. And I don't know how to I don't know how to fix my microphone because we hear the sound of outside and.
Okay, no worries. We are just going to carry on. We'll carry on broadcasting inside the game. Actually, we can see a wraparound onto the Dark Seer. Obviously, he did take that Iron Shell first, so won't have that easy escape. He's going to try and juke his way around trees, but it's not going to be enough. The Impale is going to be there, and Max is going to fall in this. He is going to fall right here. If possible, they really do want to give up this kill to the Morphling, but it's essentially just going to die to the next assassin. So, return kill from 0RESPECT there, and DTax played way too aggressively for basically having no ward and not even having surge. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Null is seeking a lot of harassment from the Null Talisman first Tinker. That is a lot of damage to try and deal with.
Clockwork is a little in trouble in mid. Yeah.
He's going to find it really difficult to carry on like this. With the laser, you have a real trouble last hitting, and it's really nice to play up as a Tinker. You just get a first level in laser, and you just blind them when they go for their last hits.
There it goes.
I don't know.
Alright, I'm not too sure either. In all fairness. DTax is just going to get moved away by Hugo, does that little bit of right click harassment, not really what he wants to deal with. Bottom's coming after Tinker, will pop that illusion rune. And this is going to be even hard for the Clockwork now, with the double illusions. It's really difficult to last hit against that, and he's going to be able to play as he wishes. Actually, he's going to see if he can isolate him. If he can isolate him with that battery assault, and actually, he might die here. Unless the Marching Machines, and he can get that laser off. He can't get the laser off. The rocket actually did work. The Marching Machines will clear him up. But he didn't get the experience. Clockwork did. So Clockwork now 5, and Tinker 4.
1 kill for 1.
Yep. The disparity is where, obviously, when you die, you can't actually get any experience in it. The Marching Machines afterwards that cleared up the Clockwork. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, we do see a waveform onto the attacks, but there was no lockdown without the next assassin there, and especially with the surge, it's going to be really difficult to even land the Impale onto the Darkseer.
Magic have to be careful too, because he will be in trouble soon. There's a tri-lane for him.
Yeah, the thing is, it's a fairly safe tri-lane. Obviously, it's taken boots first, so it's got 340 move speed up against, I suppose when it gets slowed that does reduce it a lot, and the Burrow Strike is now level 2, so he will be able to move around. But he's just playing it really safe, not getting in close for the Burrow Strike, not in close range for the open wounds, and able just to play this out very, very dandy. The Regen Room bottom, that will help out DTax quite a bit, and deny Tinker being able to get some more regen for him. heading into a sort of stalemate farming fest right now. Tinker is really going to win the farm fest in the middle, obviously with that range, with that null talisman, and now with the March of the Machines being maxed out.
They don't figure out to take this dark seer in bottom. They always look at him, but in Trident, and then can't catch him.
Yeah, it's really difficult to catch up the Dark Seer, especially with no point click disables. They've got the skill shot, the Impale, which is actually easy to dodge even when it's cast with the slow projectile speed.
Maybe with the cold feet of the Ancient Apparition.
Yeah. The problem is with the Surge, the cold feet still doesn't actually do anything. It needs 4 seconds, and the Surge actually has, I think a 2-second duration at level 1. A 3-second duration level 1, and Cold Feet needs 4 seconds of being in the AoE to latch. Also, this fantastic ward blocking the potential ancient stacking for 0RESPECT is really, really clever, because it's really difficult to be able to scout out that ward. I think we're going to see D-Tanks try and move into the jungle very soon. We still have my last hanging. Actually, the hookshot lands, and the stanking is going to burrow strike in, but the Martian Machine is clearing them up, and that's a double kill for the Tinker.
Fancy is amazing.
And that is why you do not go into the March of the Machines. Amazing amount of damage, especially with the cogs just trapped them in there, and there was nothing they could do.
Oh, did you see it?
I see everything. I've got eyes around the map everywhere.
Okay, perfect.
It's turning really into the farming game, but Tinker, with these kills that he's getting, he's coming out very, very strongly. And at 1,000 gold right now, once he clears out some of these stacks, he's going to start really cementing that timing for his boots of travel. Actually not able to get the stack on this camp, which is actually really problematic for him. That probably would have pushed his boots of travel to an 8.5, 9 minute timing.
I don't know the point of the 3-lane top, because they do anything. They don't gong, they don't hard push, they just passive.
I think one of the things they're looking to do is they're stopping the Blink Dagger coming out of Magic, because the Tinker is taking up the jungle for the Radiant side. So they're delaying this Blink Dagger because Magic can't come anywhere close. And meanwhile, Manades and my last are getting decent levels. You've got the 2 levels in the Burrow Strike already, got the 2 in the Sandstorm, and a TP straight away into the bottom, and does land on to the Nyx Assassin. And the slow is there.
Bye bye, Nyx.
Yeah,
see you later.
Yeah, the waveform away from the Morphling was enough to get into safety. But that was a nice coordinated gank. They TP'd in immediately, and Arbenlol landed that hook shot which was needed. A nice deny on the haste rune from Hugo. But bloody hell, he's taking a lot of damage from the Alpha Wolves and the Mud Golems. Not what you want to try and deal with.
I don't know why they are pinging the jungle.
I think they want to try and get it stacked up, and they want to get it stacked up so Tinker can just like mush it all down. He's now got his boots of travel, so he's now just going to go everywhere he wants. Alas, taking the creep wave from the Radiant there. We did see attempted go on mid. The Ancient Apparition was there to try and fill in and just help out QSD. Oh, Funky, my apologies. There's squares there. Arbenlol is actually going to land the cogs onto Funky, and that's going to be him dead. My last with the Burrow Strike will be enough to finish it off. Arbon Lol actually still used his hook shot there. Sort of questionable since my last was coming in, and that hook shot is now down for a long while. But he's still got the Morphling just farming up freely on the bottom lane. That going for that potentially that Lincoln Sphere. I think if actually it's Lincoln Sphere unless he gets uncontested free farm, in which case he could easily go for the E-Blade. Yeah, it's likely to be given up to Arbon Lol, hoping to use that for the next hook shot that he gets up. And now we have Magic, who's now sitting around, is going to start using his Firefly just to be able to pick off all of these camps. Actually isn't able to pick up that last wild kid. He needs to get over there and sort that out, otherwise he's not going to be able to get that respawn on that hard camp. And now that Magic's no longer required on this off lane, it's just going to be giving up to Create, just getting up those levels and get that Vendetta and start roaming around. And the Blink Dagger coming up in probably about 2-3 minutes up there for Magic. So some really nice timings on all the items for 0RESPECT, despite the early advantage being given to OMG. Tinker really played well in that mid lane. Getting off it, maxing that match of the machine is really useful when multiple heroes try and gank you.
I can find a way to fix my microphone, but I will have to do it after the match.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Dire's bottom tower's getting the business.
So the game's really starting to slow down right now, and they're turning into they're just going back into this farm fest. And I want to see. I would love to actually hook shot onto the ancient apparition by Arbon Lol. He will be able to pick off the AA there, and actually might still get cold feet up. Yep, the cold feet does latch, but the duration is not high enough, and Arbon Lol is just going to start hopefully walking away.
Dire best do something about that bottom tower.
Not enough damage on the rockets and the laser, and Arbon Lol is home free. Does now pick up a haste rune just as well. This is the Arbon Lol we all love and hate, especially on this clockwork. He's really that big playmaker for OMG. Tinker actually caught out on the top lane with the epicenter being used by my last. It's really difficult for Tinker to try and TP into that lane with the open wounds, the poison touch, and now the Burrow Strike. He really can't do it freely.
Radiant's top
And if OMG aren't
hits.
careful, Drow is going to get his E-Blade up fairly soon and start just going to town.
Radiant's
with
gone.
The top tower will fall.
Dire's bottom
Yeah.
tower's getting the business.
But if you consider that to Drow actually pushing on the tier 2 tower of the
Guess
other
what's
lane.
happening to Dire's bottom tower?
Actually, Arbon Lol's going to hook shot in. A nice cog there, and as you know, Drow is just going to TP away. Oh, the vacuum not close enough, almost able to latch. And blimey, that was close there for Drow. Just able to escape and actually just go for that safe ultimate orb going into that Lincoln's. Safer than trying to go for that E-Blade, because if you start falling behind, it's going to get really difficult for you. My last using the beautiful jungle sanking techniques, using that sandstorm with the increased range. Actually, they can see if they're able to go on the Tinker.
There's smoke on top lane.
Yeah, there's smoke by Tinker. Magic has the Blink Dagger up. They need to get Mewtwo. The Sand just uses Burrow Strike on the creeps. Mewtwo is just going to fall immediately, and there's nothing they can turn it around with. Darkseid is going to TP in, but that's a big long delay. Create is just going to use Vendetta and start moving away, and Magic is just going to fly away freely.
It was too late for the AA's ultimate.
Yeah, and meanwhile they take down the Lifestealer, so Farmer's going to start stunting for him. Meanwhile, Drow's still freely farming on this safe lane for the 0RESPECT, and he is just having the whale of the time there.
The Dire best do something about that bottom tower. Dire's bottom tower's getting the Dire gave up a bottom tower.
Yeah, and now it's now the tier 2 tower down for OMG, and this Lincoln Sphere is actually it's coming up very, very shortly. They do have TP in onto the bottom lane from Mylas, and they need Arbenlol to come in if they really want to pick off the Morphling. But he's playing it safe. He knows they can't see any of them. But also he knows that they either go for him or lose the tier 1 tower, and he's bought most of his items. But he's just going to play it safe. Nice perception coming out of Gerald there.
They were coming for the Morphling, but Morphling TP in mid lane.
Yeah, it was a nice reaction. Actually, Arbenlol is sat just below the tower, and you can see if he can land a hookshot onto Gerald, but no, Gerald actually moving upwards out of the range of that hookshot, and they're going to go for it. They're going for an engagement top. Blink is up, lasso is up. You two need to be careful. The lasso is there into the cross blast. The cross blast doesn't land because of the rage, and Magic is actually going to get stunned up from Arbenlol. The Flame Ray does land, the Cold Feet does land, the Shallow Grave is there, but that rider would be picked up by the Lifestealer eventually.
1 for 1.
Yeah, 1 for 1. But it's still lost to Lifestealer compared to just the off-lane Batrider. Their carry is still dying compared to the 0 deaths up onto the Morphling. And that's now a full Lincoln Sphere up for the Morphling. Why did you just try it? And it's just gonna be another tower.
Radiant's bottom tower seen better days.
And OMG really starting to fall behind here. The Morphling getting a little bit on the Lifestealer getting just consistently ganked by this Batrider.
Dire's got one last top tower. Radiant's bottom
And King is
tower
pushing
ain't a
on
pretty
bot
sight
lane.
right now.
But it won't figure it out.
Ruin at Radiant's bottom tower.
Yeah, the Nyx is there with the Vendetta, and with the TP in from Tinker, they might be able to catch out Sanking. Yeah. Oh, what a beautiful. Wait to see the Tinker, but not enough. The max level rocket, a lot more damage than the Sanking has health.
It doesn't have enough damage for it.
Yeah, obviously it wouldn't even be able to get off the epicenter. Just do enough time. But we're going to carry on seeing the Lincoln is now up for the Morphling, so he's going to start moving into his next item, either like trying to get that Manta, or potentially what I'd like to see is him move into that E-Blade and to start nuking down this Dazzle and the Sanking. Having a lot.
Be careful, Morphling.
And you use that replica at the last second just to jump away. Meanwhile, up bottom, Tinker is having a Barney with the. If he's able to get an invis ring, he will be home free. And no, actually, Tinker's gonna die here. D-Tax needs to move out of the way, the hook shot will land. There we go, the Ice Blast is actually going to hit Arbenlol. Doesn't miss D-Tax. D-Tax, his TP is cancelled. They are just going to leave Arbenlol and take the Darkseer instead.
That was a very nice ultimate.
Yeah, it got in there like the last second. It split up where D-Tax had to stand, and Arbenlol just had to land straight through it, no questions asked. They do get the burst rate onto Creo, and he's going to be absolutely nuked down. There's no chance for him there. Also, the 4-star up for Arbenlol. This is what I like to see out of the Clockwork. No Vanguard, no drums, just go straight for that 4-star. hookshot actually missed. Oh, the what even happened to the Sand there? He should not have been taking that much damage. Must have been the rocket as well. So Tinker at the moment is getting a lot of farm, but meanwhile Drow is actually just even equaling him in farm, like actually excelling. This is not really what you expect to happen when you have a Tinker. You expect all of the farmers to be isolated into him. The Morphling hopefully going for that E-Blade and will be able to start nuking down these low HP heroes. It wouldn't be a decent game if we didn't have a pause mid game. I was going to take this chance to look at the gold graphs. We've got in excess of 5,000 gold, heading up to that 7,500, and meanwhile the experience actually is very even. I actually can't see the edge of the experience bar because of the pause screen, unfortunately.
Where do you see the gold graph?
Up in the top right, you got all the graphs.
Oh, yes.
And the spectator mode and stuff.
Yes, thank you.
Now, in terms of itemization coming out for 0RESPECT, we're coming up for the Aghanim Scepter for the Ancient Apparition. We've got a blink travels onto the Tinker. We've got a link into 2800 up onto the Morphling. We've got a blink force onto Magic and another blink onto Nyx Assassin. Blinks in abundance for 0RESPECT. On the flip side, we've got 1800 up to the Sand King with the Arcane Boots, so going towards our Blink Dagger for himself. Mewtwo getting that Sand, moving towards that Sand in the Ashes, going for the same race card build used by Drellin in the previous game. Below 4 staff. I'd like to see him go into like a mechanism right now. They really need this at this point. It's difficult to play up against with the Ancient Apparition. Darkseer should be getting the mechanism. What am I saying? 1800 gold. Could potentially actually go for the blink, though wouldn't be ideal for them. They really do need some sort of burst heal in these next fights. Drow is actually spiraling down in onto the Darkseer, and hopefully we'll be able to get underway and see how this is going to turn out.
Unfortunately for them, AA will gonna have Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah.
It will be difficult.
Yeah, with that 17-second duration on the Frostbite, it is not on the... Actually, it is called Frostbite, surprisingly. Well, technically it's a frozen debuff, but it's called Frostbitten. But we do see the wards scouting out the Mendes squared and my last rotating through the dire secret shop.
Sand King is invisible? No?
No. Yeah, so we've got an Endless Sand King, we've got a Blink Dagger onto our Nyx Assassin to sat at top lane. They're baiting the Tinker here.
He doesn't have items, this Sand King.
He's saving for his Blink Dagger. Sitting behind Hugo, we'll jump in on him. And oh, the epicenter is cancelled by the Flame Break. Really?
What was this?
Hookshot even missed by Arbenlol. What?
What was this?
What are they thinking?
How do you say fuck's sake?
God damn it, Sand King, why you do this? There we go, there's the Eagle Sunk now up for the Morphling, so we're going to go straight into that E-Blade, and this is going to be terrible to see. And actually, yeah, it is the Blink Dagger up for the Darkseer, who surprisingly, after dying those 2 times in the early portions of the game, has got up a decent level of farm for himself. Meanwhile, if we like just generally compare the net worth, we're looking at Morphling 12,000 gold compared to the only 8,000 of the Lifestealer. These tower last hits are just playing massively in favour, and the amount of time that the life stealers actually spent dead after just being killed repeatedly. Ardenlold has scouted out Magic, will get jump in on him. Oh, the force off out by Magic does dodge the cogs. Slanking is able to get there with the force off from Ardenlold into the Burrow Strike, but he's going to fall anyway. The wall does go down from the Tinker. Morphling is just wailing away. Just get the Courier as well. Ardenlold just jump back in, and they are going to start working onto Jarrell. The Strength Morph is there, that might be enough to get him to safety, and then the waveform away. Oh, Strength Morph is something he is just horrifying to try and deal with. There's never enough damage involved.
How can Joel survive on this?
Because everyone hates Strength Morph. And they do jump in onto the illusion.
Cogs fail. Cogs fail. Go away, Nix, you're in trouble. That's okay.
Yeah, with the Vendetta, with the Link Dagger, he's fairly safe. Arbenlold got that level 2 armor, he's going to start looking around, see if he can get another hook shot. The Tinker's an ideal choice, but they're not able to grab a hold of him just yet. While Darkseer just... who's that TPing? The next assassin's TPing away from the top lane. And I think, yeah, 200 gold away from this E-Blade for the Morphling. He's got an incredible amount of farm in this game. And I wouldn't be surprised the first fight after this E-Blade is picked up that it's almost going to be a GG call coming out of OMG. They really don't have anything. They don't have a very potent team fight until Darkseer gets... actually no, he does have his combo. So if they're able to get a illusion of this Morphling, they do have the potential. Actually, Cutwork being picked out into the middle lane. No lasso. The Vendetta actually not used. None of the expected items you want to see used, the expected skills for a pickoff were used there. They do try and get pickoff with the Vendetta into the Frost Blast, but just slightly miss onto the range, and now we see the E-Blade up for the Morphling, and now the Dazzle needs to be scared. Actually, the Darkseer needs to be scared. Anyone below about 1,000 health needs to start worrying for their life. Especially like if he's able to catch his Dazzle out, this could prove just really problematic for them. And there's the Dagon out for the Tinker, going to pair up with this E-Blade from the Morphling and just get out that huge damage. This is what I was looking forward to see. I didn't want to see like Max March with the Sheep Stick first. I want to see a Dagon. And there's going to be a dead Darkseer. The Dagon, the E-Blade, and then the Adaptive Strike to boot.
Dyer's mid tower.
Oh, and was that the hookshot did actually miss with the relocate from the Morphling straight back into the mid lane, completely safe. No questions asked. See, they do get the jump onto the force off into the Morphling, but he's just clicking everyone right now. And he's just going to jump away in that Strength Morph, and he's going to start hailing down on Mewtwo. The Tinker has just picked up people with the Martial Machine, playing absolute havoc here. The E-Blade will be enough, and the Strength Morph actually able to save Jarrell from the Epicenter, and this is just rolling over them right now. And there's the GG, the first fight after the... The first fight after the E-Blade was announced. Completely called it. There was just no way back for them from that. And there's going to be, that's the end of the first series of today. We will be back, I think, an hour and hour and 10 minutes for the second game, where we will have ASR going up against Vicara.